Well, the hypocritical scrub, alleged journalist Stephen A. Smith has made his pick for this year's League MVP award. An award, mind you, he does have a vote for. Just ask him about it.
He's getting my vote. I have a vote. He's getting my vote.
And no surprise here, it is not Nikola Jokic. No surprise because Smith, along with bumbling moron and fellow ESPN talking head Kendrick Perkins, ran a disinformation campaign a year ago to cheat Nikola Jokic out of the MVP in favor of Joel Embiid.
But I think that Joel Embiid has been absolutely spectacular this year. I just think that this is his year.
Embiid, whose 76ers last year finished third in the Eastern Conference with a record of 54-28, while he did lead the league in scoring. And for your reference, Embiid last season averaged 33.1 points per game, 10.2 rebounds, and 4.2 assists. And in order to get that third best record in the Eastern Conference, he had two other 20-point-per-game scorers on that roster, one of which was former league MVP James Harden, who also led the league in assists last year. And yet, Stephen A. Smith championed Embiid for the MVP over Jokic. Fast forward to this season, and Luka Doncic has led the league in scoring while leading his Mavericks to a record of 50-32, 4 fewer wins than Embiid had a season ago. But Luka averaged nearly a full point per game more at nearly 34 points per game, while averaging 1 fewer rebound and more than doubling Embiid in assists per game. Doncic not only led the league in scoring, he finished third in assists. Oh, and he was in the power conference of the West, unlike Embiid a season ago. But Stephen A. Smith predictably isn't voting for Luka either. Now he's going with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the MVP.
Who, truth be told, did have a fantastic season in leading the Thunder to the 1 seed in the West and a tie with the Nuggets for the second best record in the league. And him getting that 1 seed is a major factor as to why Stephen A. is giving it to Shai.
Model of consistency and productivity that has led to the top overall seed and home court advantage throughout the Western Conference playoffs.
But Jokic won the West's number 1 seed a season ago with a roster that is still without a single other All-Star.
I don't want to hear about Jokic. I want to hear it.
Jokic tied for the second best record in the league with the Thunder behind only Boston, despite his second best player, Jamal Murray, missing 23 games this season, while Luka's second best player, Kyrie Irving, missed 24 games. But the Thunder's top 6 rotational players, that would be every player that plays at least 20 minutes per game, all played a minimum of 71 games this season. Jokic, meanwhile, crushes Shai in every single significant advanced metric. And most importantly, he just makes his team better than Shai or anyone else. That's why he's the most valuable. Again, we are talking about a team that not only lacks a single All-Star this season, none of these players have ever made a single All-Star at any stage of their entire career on this entire Denver roster, with the lone exception of DeAndre Jordan. Jordan, who made 1 single All-Star game 8 years ago and has played all of 36 games this season and is averaging 3.9 points per game. And again, the one guy many think has been All-Star caliber at portions of his career, Jamal Murray, missed 23 games. That is a third of the season. This roster is not what many think, and with Jokic on the floor, they are exceptional. The Nuggets are plus 18.9 points per 100 possessions with Jokic on the floor versus off. While Shai Gilgeous-Alexander might have the best on-off numbers of any MVP candidate aside from Jokic, he still finished the regular season at plus 10 per 100 possessions, which is nearly half that of Jokic. These are things I would anticipate an MVP voter to be familiar with.
he's getting my vote.
But then again, Stephen A. Smith, the great pontificator, doesn't really know shit about basketball. After all, he doesn't even know his favorite team, the New York Knicks, a team which he shamelessly roots for and unabashedly slobbers over at any chance he gets.
Orange and blue skies, the New York Knicks, 9 straight, okay? We coming, y'all.
And yet this is a video he posted on his personal YouTube channel 1 week ago.
I'm looking at Grimes. He's looked good.
He said he's looking at Grimes and he's looked good? Well, Stephen A. must have been looking at him on the Detroit Pistons, seeing as how that's what Team Quentin Grimes has been on since February 8th. When the Knicks traded him there. 2.5 months ago, his favorite team traded him, yet last week, he posted a video talking about how good he looks for the playoff-bound Knicks.
What an idiot.
And this bum hypocrite has the audacity to crawl on his platforms and spew this trash.
I don't want to hear about Jokic. I want to hear it.
And look, I get it. There are few people in the industry, or hell, working in general today at anything that is as busy as Stephen A. Smith. So in that case, give up the vote, my guy, because you do not deserve to have one. If Shea was in a better conference or won substantially more games in the same conference, perhaps the case could be made for him over Nikola Jokic. As it stands, however, the only case against Jokic would be if someone produced an incredible statistical anomaly of a season. It would be difficult to produce such a season though, since Jokic averaged nearly a 26-point triple-double this year. But Luka Doncic did produce nearly a 34-point triple-double, so perhaps that would qualify. But Stephen A. Smith isn't making that case. And this fraud is just the poster child for all of the other goalpost movers who lack any semblance of consistency in the standards they utilize to qualify someone for these awards. And of course, in what continues to be one of the most suspicious ongoing trends in the current sports media, the amount of hate Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic continue to receive. But as is always the case, I will have to leave the reasons and the motivations behind that up to your own imaginations.